And action! Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Today I'm bringing a DIY to you all. Don't get intimidated, it's not crazy. I thought this idea of making your own jewelry was really cool because since it's the holiday season, these pieces will make some pretty awesome gifts, because not only can you say like, hey, I actually made this with my own hands, personally for you, but you also save yourself a lot of money. Even if you don't have a gift to give to anyone, you can just wear them for yourself, because personally, I like them a lot. So if you want to know how to make all these pieces of jewelry, then just keep on watching.
So the first thing you're going to need is just a small bag of assorted rocks or stones, whichever colors you'd like. Then you're going to need some wire. I got a bunch of different colors. Just keep in mind that the thinner the wire it is, the easier it is to work with. Then you're going to need some pliers, and just make sure one of them has a wire cutter like this one does right in between there. And the last thing you'll need is a hot glue gun. The first thing we're going to be creating is 3 necklaces, which are basically stones wrapped in the wire. It gives a really cool edgy kind of look. So first I'm going through those rocks that I have, and I am just picking and choosing just to see which ones are going to work for me. I decided to grab some flatter ones because that just makes it easier and it makes it lie on the body nicer when you're wearing the necklace. So now that I have the 3 that I thought were perfect, I am just grabbing my gold wire, and I'm not being too specific with how much wire I take. I'm just giving myself a generous amount because I can always cut it at the end if it's too long. Now I'm just going in and I'm going to start at the top of the stone. I know I'm kind of out of frame here and I'm sorry, but basically what I'm doing is just starting at the top of that stone and just wrapping the wire around. You want to keep your hand nice and tight around the stone because the wire kind of bounces up and all over the place since it is pretty flexible. Then I'm just going to go and cut that end of the wire, and I'm just going to try and tuck and pinch everything in the wire just to make it to my liking, and this is how it turns out. Once that's done, I'm going to go and grab the other 2 stones that I chose and pretty much do the same thing. Just grab the stone and start wrapping the wire around it and shaping it to the form of the rock as best as I can. The last and final stone that I chose is definitely much smaller than the other 2, so it is a little bit harder to work with because you kind of really have to keep your fingers tightly wrapped around it. So just keep that in mind. The bigger the stone, the easier this project is. And we are all finished with all 3 that I chose. So that's basically the final product with the stone part. Now I'm just going to go ahead and grab a chain that I had or just some rope. You can decide which look you want to go for. I decided to put this smaller one on a chain because I wanted it to look a little bit more delicate, and I love the way it came out. And then for the other 2, I just put it on some black rope, and I love that look as well. Once you have them on your rope, you are completely finished, and that is it. Pretty simple, right? So now I'm going to show you guys how to get 2 really cool rings. The first one does involve a stone. So once again, I'm just going through these stones and finding a really nice flat one that I think I would like. And I'm just going to measure the wire on either one of my fingers, and then I'm going to take this copper wire, which is pretty thin and it's really easy to work with, and I'm just going to measure 1 ring around my finger and then continue to wrap the wire around that first ring that I made so that it pretty much stays the same size. Once I finish with that first one, I'm going to make 2 of them so that there's a space in between the 2. Now the stone part comes in, and that's where the stone will be laying, in between those two rings. So the first thing that I do is just grab my ring, and then I take my hot glue gun and add a small dot of glue and quickly place the stone right on that area, and I just hold it there for a little while. This is what you should have once you finish that first gluing part. Then you do the same thing to the second ring, put a dot of glue, and then quickly, before it dries, take that other part of the ring and just combine them together. And when it's all done, you should have something that looks like this. Yes, you guys, it's that easy. The most important thing is just making sure you get the size of the rings correct. So as for the second ring, it's super duper easy, even easier than the first one. I am first taking my gold wire and I'm just cutting just a random length that I think would be good enough. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hook it around my actual finger just to kind of get an idea of what size. And then I'm just going to literally continue to just spiral that ring on top of each other. All this is just actually a spiral ring. So after you sort of spiral it around the wire itself, then it should look something like this. The next thing that I'm doing is just bending the endings of the wires. That way it's not just poking out randomly. So I just bend them downward and upward, and once you're done, it looks like this.
So that wasn't too bad, right? I hope you guys enjoyed them. Please don't forget to subscribe. I love when you guys show me your love, and comment below, like this video, do whatever it is that you please. And I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.